You are now listening to the Glitchy Tasty Podcast.
Alright, well today we are here in the glorious Glitchy Tasty Studios, which is located directly on the second floor. And GlitchyTasty.com, where you can find the latest video game news, reviews, previews, interviews, all sorts of views, all at Glitchy Tasty. I am Jayce Diaz, and here we have Farrrenkopf.
I'm Ryan Farrrenkopf. I'm co-creator and content manager of GlitchyTasty.com.
Then we have Tony Howell, the resident Pokemon.
I am a black person, and I'm the writer.
A little louder, Tony.
I am a writer, Ryan.
Okay.
Alright, and then we also have other people here.
We have some guests tonight.
Yeah, those guys.
Hi, I'm Pedro. Give me your money.
Hi, I'm Willy, Pedro's brother. Yay.
Yay.
Wow.
Alright, and that's
and
we've scared off all of our audience. Just that opening.
That my mom has stopped listening.
That's all of our audience?
Yep.
That's sad. Alright, so this week we had a lot of fun news in the gaming world.
We had a lot of news this week that we're going to cover for you guys, just going over the highlights of what we've posted here on GlitchyTasty.com and maybe some things we missed. And yeah, so let's get started with that. So we're going to go. First thing, big news, big surprise here, because nobody saw this coming ever. Portal 2 got delayed.
Oh my god, what? Valve delayed something?
Yes.
That never happens. What are you talking about?
Don't worry. It's only been delayed by 2 months, as what Valve has put, the shortest delay in Valve history.
Yeah, it's good that they have a sense of humor when they're doing things like that.
Yes, they it's now coming out April 20th, 2011, which was confirmed by shacknews.com. And Valve put out an email saying, "This 2-month slip not only marks the shortest delay in Valve's proud tradition of delays, it represents the approaching convergence of Valve time and real time. This convergence spells doom for humanity. Though this convergence spells doom for humanity, it will not affect the Portal 2 release date. So we may be dead, but Portal 2 will be
At least
here.
it'll be out so my dead body can play it."
Yes, GLaDOS.
Pedro, do you like Portal? Shut up. What about you, Tony?
It makes me dizzy. Not really does give motion sickness from playing that game.
That sucks.
I'm really looking forward to it because Portal 1 was such a great game. It's such great humor. And I'm just glad it's going to have a full game. But you know what else I'm looking forward to? Half-Life 2 Episode 3.
That's not coming out.
Yeah, that's never happened.
Don't quote games that don't exist.
It's
you know what I'm looking forward to?
NBA Elite.
I'm looking forward to actually being able to play this game without having somebody else play it at work the entire way through and say, "Hey, look at this for a second. Hey, look at this for a second. Hey, look at this for a second." Like a certain coworker used to do.
Valhalla Knights?
Valhalla Knights, that's another one. Freaking, I was really excited to play, and this is funny because it's a PSP game, and anybody being excited to play a PSP game in America is a rare thing.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
Ouch, my bias. But yeah, like, I was all excited to play this game, and then a certain coworker got the game too, and then totally ruined it for me. Made me really sad.
Well, hopefully that co-worker will not be around to ruin Portal 2. It'd be very odd if he just shows up with Portal 2 and plays it in front of you.
In the glorious Glitchy Tasty Studios on the second floor.
Yeah, it'd be really odd, but I'm not going to put anything past it.
Pop quiz, how many monitors and screens do we have in this room right now?
5.
Yes,
19.
You win all the Glitchy.
I don't see no TVs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next big thing.
OnLive. Does anybody, besides Tony, because we talked about it earlier, but anybody else know what OnLive is? By anybody else, I mean you two.
You guys are going to get schooled.
No.
OnLive is basically, it's a more or less a video game streaming service. Like, OnLive themselves, they have these servers all over the country, and it's like high-end gaming rigs, like computer games, like high spec as far up as you can go. And what you do is you sign on to OnLive through your computer, and you play the game basically from their end. It streams the video back to you. Your button inputs go back to them. So it doesn't matter if you have like an E-machine, you can play Crysis on full spec.
As long as you have good...
so long as you have a good internet connection. That's really what it comes down to. So I've had the service for a while. It's originally they were going to charge like $15 a month, but then they just kind of dropped it and now it's free. You pay for the games. That's really the only thing. You pay, it's like $50 for each game. But now they're going to release a TV adapter thing. So, like, it's a really small console. You plug it into your TV, and you can play PC games on your TV.
It's great. It's $99.
Full spec.
Comes with a controller, but it works with keyboard and mouse support for those people who like carpal tunnel.
I like carpal tunnel.
And until
Sorry,
the
PC
holidays, you get a $50 voucher for any game on OnLive.
Say what?
Yep.
So you get a free game, and you can play PSP outside? What?
Buy 25 to life now.
Wow.
25 to life. Good God.
So the online game system, I'm excited for, because if you get a chance to play it on the computer, you can just go ahead and download the service. It's free, and then you can play demos if you're not convinced of it. And there's like no latency. It's like no lag, which is really amazing because it's basically streaming across the country or something. And it just works great. And now they're going to have a little console thingy for the home. So if you can't afford your Xbox 360 or your PS Triple,
PS Triple.
or your Wii. Okay, no,
There's
everyone
no-
has a
yeah.
Wii.
Yeah.
So I take that back. Then you can get this. Moving on. Ah, no.
Oh, see what you did?
Yep. It's
See
wrong
what you
button.
did there? You did things. Oh, yeah, so this week I had the pleasure of goddamn deciphering binary code for BioWare. Because they decided to do this stupid viral ad that made... It was like... There's going to be a trailer for something at the Video Game Awards in December. For something. And there's like a quick, like, 3-second video clip of it on, of all places, Spike TV. And...
Man.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Man channel. And the thing is, I looked at this video, and like I was looking online and forums and all sorts of crazy places, and everybody was noticing how that video, the guy they show, it looks like he's holding a sniper rifle from Mass Effect, but a different, kind of like a variant of it. And then I went to their Facebook page, the official Mass Effect Facebook page, and they had a picture of that guy. So I'm like, okay, well, there's some sort of connection. And then they started releasing these barcodes, like pictures of barcodes on Facebook. Those square ones that, like, you know, smartphones, you can scan them and get stuff. And lucky me, I happen to have a smartphone. And
That's smart.
so, that's not really. And so I scanned them, and it's just binary code. So then I deciphered the binary code, and one of them was like 55.845, which is the atomic mass of iron, as I'm sure you all know.
Oh,
yes.
I've majored in it.
I have my, you know, atomic mass.
Oddly
calendar
enough,
thing
I
on
have
the
a periodic table on my smartphone.
I'm 50%.
Well, how wouldn't you? I have one on my vibrator. So yeah, so just googling the number will tell you what it is. It's really just type it in, it tells you.
No,
And then the other one was there's actually 3 now, but at the time there was 2, and the second one is negative 128.5 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the coldest recorded temperature ever. 1983, Vostok, Antarctica. So then you just put those together, and then somehow that equals Mass Effect.
Well,
You get a Mass
well,
Effect of
actually-
full activity.
Well, it's funny because the atomic mass, haha, get it, Durher? And Vostok, there's actually a solar system in, what is it, what? Yay! My chair's squeaking, guys.
you could stop.
So,
it now.
yeah, I can stop. So, yeah, and then there's a solar system in Mass Effect called the Vostok system. So, yeah.
Well, I'm excited for anything that's Mass Effect 3 related. Would be awesome. I want them to tell me this though, that they're going to go back to how Mass Effect 1 was.
Yeah,
That's never gonna-
I didn't feel like playing.
I like playing dress up with my characters, damn it. I want to walk around and be encumbered by armor. You can't pick this up because you have too much, Durher.
Yeah.
My question is,
No.
why did they go through all this trouble just to do all this when everybody knows it's going to be Mass Effect 3?
Actually, the rumors are it's going to be a multiplayer only spin-off.
Oh,
No!
That's what I'm like, no! Don't ruin what was good. Seriously, BioWare, you're not good at it. Just stop.
Well, they already ruined kind of. I mean, Mass Effect 2 is a great game, but it's
It's
not
one.
Mass Effect.
Yeah, I
It's not
played
part
through
one.
it once and then that was it.
Yeah,
was
like part 2, I
I
played.
can't wait
Part
to
1, I
play
played
part one
through.
again.
Part 1, I played through a million times, and then part 2, I beat, and then I okay, I was kind of done.
That's it.
I'm going through it now only because, you know, DLC and all that stuff. But plus, I found a way to make my male shepherd have relations with Garrus. So I mean, that's always a plus. creepy-eyed bastard.
You know me, I like to
Pop the heat sink or whatever he
savor
said.
the last shot before popping the heat
Yeah.
sink.
You know me. Vaginas. That's pretty much what he said, more or less.
That's nasty.
Cleveland's
By the way, we're very professional if you can't tell.
There we are.
Alright, that's Mass Effect 3.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yay, Homefront.
So, Homefront is a game that you guys should be following because I said so. No, Homefront this week got a couple new things. One, it got a it finally got a release date of March 8, 2011 in North America, or if you're in Australia, it's March 10th. I think Europe is March
Never.
11th, but who cares about them?
I care.
But this game is actually something I've been excited for ever since E3. When I was at E3, it was like a pleasant little surprise. Because we were like wandering around E3 and there's huge lines everywhere, and like we didn't want to wait in any of them because it's E3 and you just want to do everything as fast as possible. And then we see an awesome looking little booth for Homefront, and we wait in line for that.
By little, he means it was literally going to the ceiling in the
Well,
LA Expo Center.
It was smaller than most of the booths there. Okay.
Okay. Because it literally had a building that people were standing on.
Yes, but it's E3.
And a
it's
walkway.
like built. There's like an acre for Connect had like its own skyscraper.
Connect had its own expo center in the expo center. That was funny.
So, but basically, this game is great because it's a what if type game where in the year 2025, North Korea unifies with South Korea, starts taking over Asia, and then 2025 invades the U.S. And what really sells this game for me is all the little detail and how they really plan to like pull you into the story. Because one thing that I noticed immediately right off the bat when I first saw this is there's a battle going on where you're attacking a Korean base, a makeshift base on occupied U.S. soil. And the first thing I noticed is that they're fighting at a lumber liquidators. And I know you guys all love lumber liquidators. You
I
guys are
shop
there
there
all
the time.
But
For my
what this
lumber.
is big to me is because they really want to pull you into the story because it's an actual business. And the latest developer diary they put out had a screenshot of a Hooters, and it's great because playing other games that are somewhat similar. It's like Modern Warfare 2. There's the level where you're basically running between a bunch of fast food restaurants, and they're all like Burger Town or Taco Hut.
Well, Ramirez, get to the machine gun. Ramirez, get to the machine gun. Go to that Taco Hut hole. It's like that episode of Family Guy where the recent one where they can have actual
name the candy.
candy brands
Oh, yeah,
for the
that's
Halloween
funny.
episode.
But-
So it's like this one was like peanut butter discs. Like, it's basically what it was. It sucks. Like you said, it's really cool to see a game that doesn't do that. Even if you have to pay a little more for licensing, it's just it's something else that won't take the gamer out of the game.
Mhm.
Which again, with Call of Duty, it was either hearing all these things that don't exist and you kind of laugh to yourself like, oh yeah, that's not actually Burger King. But
Yeah.
that it takes you out of the game a little bit, and it's all about immersion, people.
Yeah, and
Not
with-
emulsion. They don't eat emulsion.
with Homefront, they really want to draw you into the story, and it's also great because it differentiates itself from the modern shooter with you're a super soldier, or pretty much in Call of Duty, or you might as well be a super soldier, and you have every resource at your disposal. Call in this airstrike, fly this helicopter, nuke this country, and in this game you're like, nope, you're just an old air pilot or Air Force pilot, but you're fighting with a bunch of people who used to be on the PTA, and you have to steal all the weapons, and it just looks great because you're not having unlimited resources, and it looks like it's going to be very story driven, and it's written by the guy who co-wrote Apocalypse Now and wrote Red Dawn, so it's going to be great. And they also put out a developer diary for that, which, although it has a lot of really annoying graphics, is really worth watching. And
Yeah, they're kind of all over the place. Like, it's like, here's a red stripe going this way, that way. Here's some text flying at you. I don't want that.
but it looks cool, and some guy went to college for that.
You went, yeah, he did.
But yeah, Red Dawn.
Catherine
Homefront
Gibbs.
is coming out March 8th. It's probably going to get more developer diaries. I'm probably going to write a bunch of more stories on that because this is my most anticipated game for 2011, at least the first half, because then Gears 3 comes out in the second half, and God knows I love Gears. So, I don't even think the thing could pick that up.
I think it can if I put it louder.
There we go. Yeah, take that away from you. Alright, so now we're moving on. Speaking of Gears, you like that little segue I did there, whatever it's called?
I like that. I like what you did there.
Yeah.
I see
Okay.
it.
So, Gears 3 Gears has been rumored to be making a Kinect game, or Epic's been rumored to make a Gears-themed Kinect game.
Keep in mind it's not Gears 3 because
Right.
Cliff Bleszinski himself, the creator of Gears, or at least the designer, he said officially that Gears of War 3 will not use Kinect.
Right, but but what he didn't say is that they're not making...
I did it.
He just knocked everything down. Did you knock the microphone down?
I did. I'm pretty
Wow,
badass.
that is... you should move this cable because it's going to happen again.
I'm gonna move back.
Cable and Bishop.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
All
Cable
right.
and Bishop.
So,
Neither of them are coming to Marvel.
what Cliffy didn't say was that they weren't making anything, and with the internet being the internet, that means that they are making it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because he did not say it.
Yeah.
Therefore, that means it's 100% confirmed.
Although there are
You guys
apparently
knew that.
some other rumors supporting it, but I've had trouble finding them either way.
Because they don't actually exist.
Probably not. But this brings up my biggest thing that I want to talk about is basically Kinect's potential. Because a lot of people are... Thank you. A lot of people
thought it was a joke, I'm sorry.
are dissing Kinect. Because the games out right now are a little on the weak side. I mean, Dance Central is fun, but it's kind of limited a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Tony has...
Tony has a counterpoint.
Like he said, most of the games are ass.
Yes.
To put it in better terms.
Yeah, how many times can we play a sports game where you wheel your arms? But saying that, I think Kinect has the most potential out of all the motion systems. The Wii obviously has kind of been around for a while, and it realized its potential, and now it stops using the motion controller. The Move thinks that core gamers are going to want to aim this little thing at the TV screen when they're probably just going to want to sit there playing with their controller so they can eat Doritos while they're doing it.
Yum.
But Kinect, on the other hand, is really... I think the motion controllers, the wailing your arms around thing, is really not the best thing that Kinect can do. It can do so much more. And I really think that it's going to have time to find itself. I mentioned before, as I put on our forum, I think that there could be like a strategy game using Kinect where you basically, kind of like Minority Report, move your hands around to control a menu, play soldiers here, play soldiers there, and then obviously use the controller for other things too, so hybrid games.
You could also do the Matrix Reloaded, and that one scene where the lady was in front of a screen and she was just moving squares. I swear to fucking God, how does this manage anything? You're literally moving squares, and she's just like this, like doing her little
She
arm
was
waving
playing
thing.
Tetris.
That's yeah. She's like, I was just like, the whole suspension of disbelief, especially in movies. I mean, that movie came out when I was younger, like teenager. Even then, I'm just sitting there like, this is fucking stupid. Like, she's like supposed to be doing something really sophisticated, but it just comes down to she's moving squares.
She's actually in the hood. She's moving bricks.
Oh.
Well,
she's defragging her hard drive, like, physically.
well, all joking aside, I do think that Kinect really has the most potential. And what really shows this, I think, is because they've hacked it. They finally hacked Kinect. After a day after it came out, we were all waiting.
A whole day.
A whole
It
day.
took so long.
I know. Microsoft's really pissed about this, apparently. Apparently they didn't see this happening. I don't know why.
People are going to plug things into computers?
No.
Get out of here.
There's a lot of people who've shown off. I've seen more potential in it being hacked than I've seen it on the Xbox.
Man, someone put it on like this modified Roomba, right? This is the coolest thing I saw. They put on like this Roomba, so it stops walking, I guess, driving around the room, and it's scanning the room while it's driving. So it's actually building a 3D representation of the room around, like in its mind, I guess you could say, in its Kinect mind. And what's cool is it could still recognize people when it does that. And so like, the guy gave it an order to go like to the left, and it actually went to the left. So I'm like, all right, so it's already iRobot. Where's Will Smith? Bring on the Will Smith.
Nice.
So it really does have potential. I just think that right now companies are trying to jump on the bandwagon of making a cheap game that's going to sell fast. And once that dies down, I think we'll start seeing we'll start seeing more games out for that are really good. And that's what brings us back to Gears of War, is that if I think a company can do that, it is Epic. I think Epic has the willpower, the devotion to actually make a good game.
I want a Mario Party Gears of War game. That's all I really want.
Even that would be fun.
With Connect.
Am I gonna win?
just have that, like, it's just quick. Everybody, see who chainsaws one person, like somebody else the fastest. So you'll randomly pick 2 of the 4 players to stand in front of each other. It's like 1, 2, 3, go, and you got to chainsaw each other. And, I mean, how cool would that? Or you just have like a virtual pet, like the Wrench.
Hammers and stuff.
My pet Brumac.
My pet Brumac. Why not? It'd be like Connectimals, but with deadly animals.
Yeah.
Skittles! Come here, Skittles! Yeah, then they eat you.
Well,
that's how
Connectimals is technically with deadly animals, but apparently they've all been lobotomized.
Oh.
That's not nice.
And they're all cats. Why not just call it Connect
Cats?
Big Cats?
Man, stop bitching. I love connectables, though.
I want my Connectimal elephant.
Connectimals elephant.
Yeah.
What about boring ones like Connectimals like caged birds? Connectimals fish. This is really fun. Thanks, Microsoft.
We have to clean out the tank now.
That's fun.
And
Connectimals
turn.
But either way, though, it does look like Kinect is beating down Move's ass, because Kinect has sold 1 million units in North America and Europe in 10 days, where Move has only sold
400,000 in 2 months.
Yeah. And all the stats that Sony's putting out for Kinect are all these intent to buy stuff. They haven't actually released, so that's just an estimate.
You said Sony Connect?
Sony Move, whatever.
Sony Connect. Actually, they had that. It's called the iToy.
I think
they just ignored it. That's all.
I think the real deal's gonna come after the holidays, when the real numbers start coming in after Christmas and stuff like that.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of peripherals that companies eventually abandoned, did you hear what happened with We Speak? Anybody? No? Okay, you know what We Speak is. It came with Animal Crossing, and you put it on your TV and sit 40 feet away and then talk to your sister while playing Animal Crossing. And
I have a sister.
No, but you will if you buy Animal Crossing.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and it's a stupid idea, because if you're playing a game and you want to talk to somebody, you probably don't want to yell across the room.
What do you mean?
So, the Conduit 2 is being developed, and Nintendo told the publisher of that game not to use We Speak. And that could really only mean because Nintendo doesn't want anything to do with it anymore.
Well, it's because they want you to use a vitality sensor.
That's why.
To communicate through heartbeats.
I think what happened with the vitality sensor and why Nintendo hasn't talked about it, it's basically a heart rate monitor that you put in your finger, while playing the game. So Nintendo found a way to make you use even less hand stuff for the Wii, because now you don't have a hand that you can play with. And I think the second they realized that you could put a dick in there, they were like, no, this can't work, guys. Too many 7-year-olds are going to be left alone with this thing, and it's just going to get awkward. So let's ditch that. And they haven't talked about it in over a year because of that.
Speaking of dick, the Move. It looks like a penis.
Yes, it does. That's a nice input there. Just
Everyone
cleared out the room right there.
Everyone in my school calls it like the butt plug.
Oh, Move. You're so funny.
All right.
Bulletstorm. You guys know what Bulletstorm is, huh? Huh?
Is it the game that Ice Cube's not in?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know if he is in it or not.
Ice Cube presents Bulletstorm.
Well, Bulletstorm put out a new trailer, or People Can Fly. The developer of Bulletstorm put out a new trailer that looks very over the top, very awesome, and it's all about killing with skill, which is what they've been kind of promoting with this game. I'm really excited for it. I'm glad to finally see stuff start up, because really after E3, all this Bulletstorm stuff kind of dropped off, and now we're starting to see more of it. What's great, what I love about it, is that the trailer that they released runs at 60 frames a second. So I'm hoping that means the game runs at 60 frames a second on the Xbox and PS3.
They're just going to fast forward it. That's what they were actually doing. I hope not.
Because it looks smooth as hell, which is awesome. Because a lot of times, a lot of Gears games kind of get a little choppy. A lot of the games with the Unreal Engine, they kind of struggle to run it 30
Hi, I'm
frames
Texture.
sometimes.
Sorry I came late, but that seems what happens with Unreal games.
Now, I'm not just plugging Bulletstorm because they did give me a free burger at E3.
Yes, they did.
And I would like for another one. You hear that, Cliff? If you're watching this, I want more Burger Storm burgers.
We totally don't have the wrapper hanging on the wall over there.
No, we don't.
It was called a.
Burger Storm.
No, that was the name of the burger though. It was
Oh, God.
like a cock burger or something like that, with extra cock meat or something like that. I forget exactly what it was. But
It was the penis delight.
Oh, and I got a picture of it, I think.
I like how there's a crosshair on the burger. That's amazing.
Because you got to shoot the burger.
Shoot the burger.
Makes me want to just bite it.
That's what crosshairs normally make me do. I just like
Bite everything.
playing House of the Dead, trying to bite the screen. So it's typically what happens with me.
Alright, I don't know the picture, so screw that. Alright,
Yay.
anyway. Next, we're moving on to the topic where I will be silent and everyone else will talk.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yay!
Yeah, I've been working on an article for this thing for like all week, and yeah, they announced the collector's edition, or I think it's actually called just special edition, whatever. But it gives you Jill and Shumagorath, which, if you remember from the last one, I'm a member of Stars and Tentacle Eye Rape. Yeah. So, they also announced SheHulk and Zero, which Pedro, you'd like Zero because
Wasn't he
With
in
Zero.
any of the other ones?
no, he was in
in,
he was in Chaos, SVC Chaos.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
Tesla versus Capcom. too.
Yeah, he was in that too. And SheHulk, first of all, she looks goofy as fuck. She looks like the Jolly Green Giant with white shoes on. Like, they gave her this singlet outfit and these big white shoes.
High tops.
Yeah, it's like high top shoes. But seriously, it's like high tops. And it's annoying because they're trying to make her sexy, which I don't know if you guys have ever thought the Hulk to be sexy,
Oh yeah. He's
but imagine the Hulk with tits.
Damn.
A tall, lanky Hulk with tits and weird, long green hair. She's just not at all attractive.
So she
and
looks like America's Top Model then.
Yeah, basically.
So she's on the WNBA.
Yeah, exactly. So Serena Williams has been confirmed for Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh.
Sorry. She tries.
Aw.
No, but yeah, and the worst part is, like, with 2, I always played as Charlie, Guile, and Cammy. That was my team. And none of them are in this one, which is great. But then you look at the pictures of She-Hulk, and she's, like, doing Cammy's moves. Like, she's doing a cannon spike in one picture. I'm like, come on. I'm gonna have to pick her. I'm gonna have to pick this goofy bitch now. I don't want to.
She's all woman though.
I really don't. Yeah.
Well, I'm
she has a
excited
dick.
because I'm probably going to end up playing Marvel vs. Capcom 3, though I'm not really a fighting guy. I'll have fun. I'll have fun when I'm getting my ass whooped, but I can at least have an all Resident Evil team.
Yeah.
I'll have my
Chris,
Jill,
and
and I'll have my Chris, and I'll have my Wesker, and although Wesker should beating up Jill and Chris,
there'll be a team.
there will be a team.
It,
then
it'll
they'll
be
skip-
the Stars days.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
just like old
It's
times
like
when they were partners.
except that Jill has a thing on her chest, so she's a slave to Wesker. And they do things when you're not looking.
Like, cook breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
They went swimming one time. It's like one of the downloadable contents for part 5.
Oh yeah, no, there was the company picnic. The DLC.
They
It was
had
DLC.
Potato sack race or the three-legged race.
Wesker doing a potato sack race. That's again another excuse for a Connect-based party game.
With Resident Evil characters.
Resident Evil characters.
Race.
You can just have Barry Burton. He won't be playable, but he'll be the guy that shoots off the gun for the
Yeah.
relay race. I have this. Oh
Have,
my
like, a dead
god.
bird just drop.
Speaking of Barry Burton, Capcom, if you ever do get a hold of this podcast, I'm questioning your judgment if you listen to this. 2, where's Barry Burton? What has he been doing? We want him.
I think he was investigating the dining room, and he never came back.
He opened a diner called Jill's Sandwiches.
Actually, that's in Dead Rising.
Yes, it is.
There's Jill's Sandwiches.
So then
kinda
he
funny.
became a zombie. He should have been Dead Rising then, right? He should have been like the manager that you had to save.
Well,
Barry Burton.
he's covered wars, you know. Frank West. Actually, yeah, part of the article I'm writing is
Which should be up by the time
what
this
happened.
podcast is.
Yeah, it should be up by the time anybody hears this. Is that it's a rumor because for every one person who likes Marvel vs. Capcom, there's 5 leaked official lists of characters that are out. But the last one that leaked seems to be pretty legit, and there's some pretty fucked up characters on there. Squirrel Girl from Marvel, really?
That's not on the list.
Squirrel Girl,
It's
she's on the list, dude.
It's definitely on
She's
there.
on the list, and more importantly, Victor from Chaos Legion, which nobody played because it's a PS2 game from Capcom. Who plays those? I played those, that's who. I played it and I beat it, and everybody had German fucking names in that game. And it was all Gothic architecture. Gothic, not Garthic, because Garth Brooks had nothing to do with that game. But it was gothic architecture. Everybody was very sad. And then there was the main bad guy who was also your friend named Victor. And he was like Sephiroth mixed with Wesker. And now he's in the game too.
So he was Secret Squirrel?
He was Secret Squirrel, yes.
Alright.
Alright. But yeah, no, I mean, the list is pretty funny. They threw in Chuck Green and Frank West as like the same character, but basically a palette swap. Which, why not? I mean, they're the same person. Kind of.
Although it would be fun, like Chuck Green kind of like takes out his camera and not Chuck Green. Frank West like takes out his camera, maybe blinds you with it or something.
It's one of his attacks and touching on the
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
And then Chuck Green would have to make something.
Well, he could just run you over with his car or his bike.
Yeah, well, it has chainsaws on it, so he just cut you in half with that.
It's
And then you suddenly come back to life.
Combat.
Why not? Imagine that with fatalities.
I'd say
no.
RJ trying to do everyone. Just like when he said, freaking there were fatalities in Soul Calibur.
Yeah. I totally believe that. Voldo. Pedro, you should go for Halloween or even like the next like convention as Voldo.
Alright.
Yeah,
I'll definitely do that. Hell yeah.
You have like the form.
I mean, it's like if like Connect came out with a Voldo game,
just Voldo, not even the rest of Soul Calibur. Just the weird like
just him walking around would be good enough for me.
They should release an iPhone app. It's like augmented reality, but with Voldo. Just coming out of random doors and stuff. I'd buy it.
I think everything needs fatalities. Pokemon fatalities. Kingdom Hearts fatalities.
I actually, before the Keyblade, it was originally a chainsaw.
That's
That's the best thing I've ever heard, is that executive meeting when they introduced the chainsaw, all the Disney executives were quiet as hell because, I mean, it's a chainsaw. So then they had to change it to a Keyblade. But could you imagine if that stood?
It's a lot better than Dance Water Dance.
Take this, genie from Aladdin. Ah! Alright, what do we got next?
Next, coming up, we have a little discussion we have about video game quality.
Oh.
Tony, I believe this was your topic.
See.
He's texting.
Yes, it was.
Tony.
Moving on.
No, this is a lot of games now that you play, no matter the company. I mean, I think a perfect example of this, I think anybody can say, is the Sonic the Hedgehog series.
What are you talking about? Those games are perfect.
Those games are great. Sonic Colors was great.
From Sega, you'll play, like, Bayonetta, game's great. You know, the quality's there. You play Sonic the Hedgehog, the quality is not there. Sonic falls through levels. His voice actors suck. The gameplay is just terrible.
The Sonic team is the best team ever, Tony.
I mean, Sonic Unleashed was an attempt to be good, but then failed with the beat-em-up levels. I don't know. Get to my point, really. I think the quality should be there for every game, no matter what the game is. Even if you're making Baby's Mama, Cooking Mama. I mean, Cooking
Baby's Mama would be really good. It's basically Maury.
Yes.
The quality should be there for, like, little games. Even if it's, like, Harry Potter to Call of Duty or Madden. Each game should have the same amount of quality in it, no matter the game.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
you just don't see that anymore. It's getting worse.
You see so many games coming out now that like are so broken because they can put the excuse away of, oh, well, we'll patch that, later on.
Yeah, release it in an update or
yeah,
something.
It's like Red Dead Redemption, although I'm glad this game was released like this because this has brought some great glitches. But Red Dead Redemption has some like awful glitches. Like, how does that get like by testers? How does that get by Rockstar? And then we see that again with Fallout New Vegas, where you got like the exorcism going on
The Exorcist head. First of all, when literally the very first thing you see in this game is a man with a rotating sideways head who floats at you and throws things. But it's supposed to be him just introducing the world to you sitting down. Like, that's broken. You might want to go back and take a look.
But then, and one thing I wanted to bring up is you have all these games, like you talk about Harry Potter, and that's you have all these games that are being made by like small developers, but they're for a big publisher, like the Harry Potter's published by EA. Now, EA obviously has the resources; they have assets. Why is it so hard to share some of these assets? Like, why can't a developer just like say, or a publisher say, "Hey, this Harry Potter game's having some trouble. Let's send over a couple people from this other developer we have just to kind of be like, just to help them out, just as consultants or something." It seems like they just don't care. They just want to make these games as cheap as possible, and they're just lazy.
Well, you know, in the case of Harry Potter, though, it's a movie tie-in.
Yeah.
So they probably didn't have all the time in the world to work on it.
Yeah,
even though EA knew it was coming,
Well,
they worked on all
the other
ones.
Harry Potter games have been not the greatest games, but they at least were games that stood on their own.
That's what I mean. I mean, you're looking at titles from PS2 and Xbox that are better than this. This is next generation. Why are old generation games better than the ones coming out now? It's ridiculous. You should be seeing some epic things going on, no matter what the game is.
Why?
Harry Potter
Why?
or Call of Duty.
Because people want 2D Sonic games.
Yeah.
That's why. They want 2D Sonic games. Just get the fuck over it. Play 1, 2, and 3 all day.
Side scrollers rule.
Yeah, you know what? No. They do rule.
That's what the PSP.
Some of them. In fact, Streets of Rage 2 is still my favorite game of all time, but no, not for Sonic. Sorry. Move on. Like, it's 3D being fucking 3D. Oh, look, but we're going to have 3D and 2D, and then both suck. As opposed to one being good, you have two shitty versions of the same game. Thank you.
Oh, no.
That's what I really want.
I don't understand that either, because you have the PSP and the DS. That's what those are for. 2D games like that.
Yeah, whereas if you're going to do that, exactly. Make the handheld ones 2D then. But if you're going to put it on the next-gen console and be like, yeah, it's just like retro Sonic, except it blows dick. It's like, come on, dude. I don't... Like, we were playing Sonic 4 in the Wii, and that had some of the most ass physics I've ever seen. I mean, first of all, when Sonic goes up like a hill or something like that, in 4, he stops spinning. So, like, say if you're at the bottom of a hill, and you spin dash to go up the hill, the second you get airborne, you're no longer doing a spin dash, you're just flying. And if anything touches you, you die.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's the whole tactic of like, going up, hitting one of those red, like, bumper things that push you up, hitting that, and then flying in the air for a second, then coming down and landing on an enemy. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
That just sucked.
Not to mention, in Sonic 4, there's this one part I just couldn't get past. It took forever, because, like, I keep hitting, like, an invisible wall. In the middle of the air, it just, like, Sonic just hits it and falls down.
And dies, because as we all know, the ground doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm. Sonic 4. Sonic loves physics.
But guys, it was only episode 1 for $20.
Yes. that's another thing. It's like episode 1, $15. Alright, so to own this entire Sonic game would be around $60.
The same as a full
The same as
box.
a game that's not a 2D iPhone game. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's $10 on the iPhone. That's like, what games on the iPhone are...
Sonic 4 was an iPhone game on 360 and the Wii.
They just hit right click save as 360.
Rage Mutant Bash TV came out for the iPhone for $1.99, and that thing's more fun than Sonic 4.
Yeah.
And that thing's running on the Rage engine. Alright, so we're got I think one more topic and then we'll be wrapping it up here. So this is something that was kind of in the news actually last week, but we didn't have a podcast last week because they didn't exist. We invented podcasts right now.
Yes. So yes, review events, Activision, all that fun. It's not just Activision. Activision is just a scapegoat because they're Activision. They're evil, but they're also the main culprit for this one. What a review event is basically the publisher of the game.
Gather around.
Yes, gather around the campfire, children. Take off your pants. So, what a review event is, it's basically the publisher will have this huge, like, in Activision's case, it wasn't just an event, it was a 3-day thing, where they have this event and they get all these publishers, all these reviewers, like writers, journalists more or less, but they specifically handpick them. So, like, not everyone's invited. Not every reviewer. So they'll be like, oh, you know what? IGN's a big site, and this guy tends to like our game, so we'll do him. And bring him. And in this case, this was for Call of Duty Black Ops. They flew them on a plane to some secluded place in California, to this field. From the field, they got him on a fucking helicopter with helmets that had their gamer tags engraved on the side. And this sounds like some stupid, like, movie, but it really, like, they got helicopter rides to this country spa. And for 3 days, all expenses paid. They had their own suites with, like, large, like, 3D HD TVs, a copy of the game. What?
Isn't the economy all fucked up?
Not for Activision.
No.
Only for Guitar Hero and Tony Hawk. But yeah, so, like, they got all these journalists there, and then, they pamper them with gifts and presents and showers, golden showers. and like,
ninjas attack.
So, yeah, then ninjas attack. So they have like 3 days of wonderful treatment, getting like like massages and happy endings with the massages. So they don't actually get a review copy of the game. They just have this experience to play it. And then they have like these multiplayer like rooms basically with a bunch of systems set up, and it's a completely like not ideal internet setting. Like, not, I mean,
Well,
it's
not
ideal,
realistic.
not realistic. It's not like what you'd experience at home for multiplayer.
It's like
And
no
that's what they
lag,
have to use.
no issues, nothing.
So imagine you're having basically a vacation.
Yeah.
More or less a vacation.
Not to mention,
And
if you're reviewing the game, like they had developers on hand.
oh yeah.
Because
So,
when I'm playing the game and I run into a bug or a glitch or something I don't like, I always turn around to the developer behind me and ask him why this is happening, and he can
yeah,
explain it.
because
And
the
I'm like,
games
oh,
come
okay.
with developers. I don't know if you
Yeah,
know
he
that.
popped out of my box, and actually mine was very flirty.
So they're like the Verizon. It comes with their own plan and shit.
Yep.
Well, that's what I mean. Like if you're at this event, right, and your job is to review this game, you are critiquing this product before people can buy it to give them an idea of what they're getting. First of all, it doesn't come with a fucking helicopter ride. I checked. And secondly, imagine trying to, like, in your head, just trying to, like, work things out in the game, right? And every time you run into a snag or a problem in the game, the developer comes by and tells you how to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you can't get an honest review, an honest critique of the game.
So,
And hold on. I just want to make this point. Like, so if your job is to review this game, your job is to, like I said, critique it and tell people about this product, and especially if it's something that's not even out yet, because this all happened like a week or two before the game shipped. You are going to have a really hard time trying to discern what exactly you enjoyed when everything you were doing was good. Like, okay, Friday rolls around, I wake up, I get a massage, I go like a mud bath, all this crazy shit, play Call of Duty. The experience is so overwhelmingly positive that even if the game was shit, you would have enjoyed it. Because you're like you're having like this great time. It's not realistic in any way. So of course the game got like millions of great reviews from all these people.
And we're not saying that Activision is buying the reviews,
But they're buying the reviews.
Yeah, it's not like they're a reviewer can still go through this event and say, hey, I don't feel like I owe Activision anything for this. I'm not gonna feel like I have to give them a good review. But then in their head, when they think about everything, like you said, they're just such good memories.
Like it's such a great once in a lifetime experience. I got to be on a helicopter, and all those good connotations are gonna go into the review, even if the game sucked. And actually, even now on YouTube, there's a video of a guy playing through the whole first area of the game, all of Cuba, without firing a single shot, except when the game required it, like to break a lock or something stupid like that. But he got through the whole part of the game without firing his weapon. So it's a glorified movie. And so now imagine if the reviews came out and Activision just gave review copies of the game, and they had 2 weeks to figure that shit out. It would have gotten into a review somewhere.
Now, I mean, also, Call of Duty is a game that doesn't exactly need this either. Call of Duty would have gotten good reviews regardless.
Yeah, it's Call of Duty. No one's really gonna give it too much shit just because it's like, oh my god, Ramirez, get on the machine gun. That's my quote. That's my Call of Duty quote. By the way. So
he's Ice Cube. No,
yeah,
Ice Cube plays Hudson.
Not Hudson. It was Bowman or somebody.
Bowman. Yes.
Yeah.
They worked Ice Cube's name into a game twice. I love that. And I don't know, Call of Duty Black Ops. Personally, I like the game. My review should be out by the time this is out, but it just doesn't need Activision to do this. I mean, writing the review, I'm thinking whole the time. It's like, why am I writing a review? People are going to buy it if they want it anyways.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the other funny thing about the whole review event thing. The people they pick, like the big name guys, they're for big websites who don't need Activision's charity at all. I guarantee you, IGN does not give a shit about the gifts that Activision gives them because they're one of the biggest companies in the world when it comes to game reviews. They are, and it's funny because Activision will go out of their way to ignore the smaller sites who would eat that shit up.
Yeah, I mean,
smaller I don't know, Games Paradise or some shit would
or Glitchy Tasty.
No, I wouldn't.
We wouldn't go.
It's a little too sleazy for me.
Yeah, we've made
Cookers
a point.
are fine, but
we've made a point of not going to review events. Now we'll go to preview events and stuff like that because it's to find out about the game.
Preview events are fine, but when it comes down to we have to create a product, in this case a review, that other people are going to read when it comes down to their wallets and what they're going to buy. It's a little too sleazy. But Activision could have made it so much better by getting these smaller sites, bringing them out, because they would have become Activision's best friends.
Because I need a mud bath.
Go outside.
It's not muddy enough. I could get a concrete bath around
They
here.
sent me a keychain.
Activision?
Yeah.
I have an EA jump
No,
drive.
just kidding.
They didn't send you anything.
I have an EA jump drive.
Yeah, EA. Well, you know what? EA, that's during E3. They give you the nifty little notebook and the
That
jump
we
drives.
lost.
And they were just. It's funny because they were so confused handing out the jump drives at E3. I got like 3 of them.
Yeah.
I could have gotten more, but I was like, I don't need any more of these. I'm good. Yeah, they're like 4 gigs though. It's really good.
Gigabytes?
Giggity
Or
bites.
gigabytes.
Gigabytes. So, that pretty much wraps it up here for our first official Glitchy Tasty podcast.
I'd like to apologize in not advance because it's already over.
Yeah, we'd like to
Hindsight?
posthumously apologize. You guys are dead now from listening to this.
I'm not sure if it's humorously.
You know what? It is now. It's humor.
There's nothing funny about dying and getting old
There is
after.
too. But we want to thank you guys for listening in. We may or may not be back next week, seeing as is Thanksgiving. But if we are back, it might be a day or 2 late. But thank you guys for joining. If you want the latest news, reviews, blogs, videos, and anything video game related, visit.
You can do it.
Thanks. Visit glitchytasty.com. It's all independent and all personal. We don't get big fat checks from Activision.
Or any checks.
Yeah, or any checks from anyone. So just, that's it. Thank you guys for listening.
Love you.
Yay!
You know it.
Copyright 2010, Glitchy Tasty, all rights reserved. For more information, head to glitchytasty.com. Yes, I am a robot. BBBBBBBBBBBBBF muffin.